right, it's January 21st, 2025, and Donald Trump is back in the Oval Office, sworn in as our 47th president of the United States. Within minutes of entering the Oval, he's already fulfilled multiple of his biggest promises. We're going to show you and why the DC elite are losing their minds after one of these promises in particular. Also, Joe Biden solidifying himself as a criminal presidency, doing what we had warned he would do, signing unconditional blanket pardons for guess who? Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, and Anthony freaking Fauci, backdating Fauci's pardon to 2014. I wonder why. So what can Trump do about this, if anything? We're going to explain, because he's not completely out of the woods yet, from what I understand, and more details about what day 2 of Trump's MAGA presidency has in store. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing so you don't miss these regular updates. Donald Trump sworn in yesterday as our country's 47th president after years of fighting and clawing his way back. He did it, the country did it, and within minutes of arriving back inside the Oval Office, Trump fulfilled a number of his largest promises, making it a historic first day in office, signing 42 executive orders, proclamations, 115 major personnel actions, over 200 executive actions, held a 1-hour press conference, and let's not forget as well, delivering 3 landmark speeches, a very busy day for one person. Now, inside these 42 executive orders is what has establishment Washington in panic mode this morning, which we're going to show you in a minute. But he also, by the way, declared national emergencies regarding U.S. energy production on the southern border. He designated Mexican drug cartels as global terror groups, meaning it gives the U.S. military and law enforcement much more latitude on getting this problem solved. Will we be seeing drone strikes on cartel strongholds in Mexico soon? I wouldn't rule it out. He shut down the CBP One app yesterday, halting the invasion at our southern border. That was the app that the Biden administration has been using to shuttle these undocumented migrants into the country. Many of these promises he made to us during the campaign, and he's now delivered. But 2 of the largest promises that he delivered yesterday was withdrawing the United States from the WHO, the World Health Organization, and freeing the J6 hostages, signing a full unconditional pardon for all, I repeat, all 1,500 J6 prisoners. Watch this.
Mutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not commute or pardon of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way.
This was big and absolutely necessary, with J.D. Vance saying like 2 weeks ago that we would look at them on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, I don't think so. It was incredibly important that Trump pardon all of them, because they've used that day against him. It's been used to rewrite history on Trump's first presidency. He needs to erase it all, free all of them, and that's exactly what he did. Already, though, there are reports that DC police are refusing to release these prisoners immediately, saying they can't make any guarantee of morning release, once again trying to stand in his way. So at 2 a.m. this morning, Trump mobilized the U.S. Marshals, and Elon posted this on X. Please let us know if you encounter any difficulties with the release of your loved ones. Charlie Kirk following up, writing, if you are a family member of a J6 hostage, go to the prison, show a copy of the pardon. They have to release the prisoner. Pardon power is absolute, total, and immediate. Don't let them delay. We demand immediate release. In another story, we're keeping a close eye on the New Jersey drone mystery. Trump promised a report within 24 hours, telling us last week he needs a day for the inauguration to finish, but he'll tell us the truth about what is happening, what's really happening with these drones / UAP. Now, this is a much bigger obstacle than he's making it out, like the UAP disclosure topic, way more deep and dirty. won't come out in a single day, but I'm waiting to see what he does tell us today. Here's what Trump said yesterday when he was asked about it. Watch this.
But is it anything, these drones, is it anything that people need to be worried
No, I think
about?
it's terrible. I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of...
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie? Okay? Yeah, why don't we find out immediately? I mean, I can't imagine it's an enemy, or there would have been, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. They had a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting, right?
And with the events today, and
Now, we have a lot more to report on this. There's a lot happening behind the scenes in Congress and in Trump's cabinet about how to disclose a lot of this information. One of the biggest obstacles was resolved last week, by the way, when Mike Johnson ousted his hand-picked chairman of the House Intel Committee, Mike Turner, one of the principal people standing in the way of UAP disclosure. Huge deal, which got almost no coverage. A Republican Speaker of the House ousting his own hand-picked chairman from the most powerful committee in Congress. I've been told this came directly from Trump. It happened only days after Don Jr. met with Lou Elizondo and Ross Coulthart. We're going to cover more of this in a future video. In another story, CNN suggesting on national television yesterday that Elon Musk is a neo-Nazi, saying he made a Nazi salute during Trump's event at the Capital One Arena. You can't make this up. Elon delivering a short speech during the event where he was very excited, elated to be there and to see Trump make it and succeed, excited for the future of this country. During his comments, saying his heart goes out to you, to the crowd, touching his chest and motioning to the crowd as he says it. Well, according to CNN, this makes Elon a Nazi and was a dog whistle to America, saying this is not something you'd ever expect to see at an American political rally. You can't make this up. Watch this.
I just want to look at that salute that he gave again, just if anybody missed it, we'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the... All right, so we just showed that. We just showed that.
Right. It's worth
Salute.
It was quick. I think our viewers are smart and they can take a look at that, but it certainly was, it's not something that you typically see at American political rallies, let's put it that way.
No, it was not something that you usually would see. And it was quick, as you point out, it was very quick, but it was in a moment of intensity for him as he came out dancing, and then he did that. He is a hero here.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
In another story, as one of Joe Biden's last official acts as commander-in-chief, President Biden pardons his family, the Biden crime family, which is used, at least it used to be used just as a slogan, but in reality, this solidifies it. It's not just a slogan anymore or political rhetoric. He's pardoned them. It is the truth, signing unconditional pardons for 5 members of his immediate family: James Biden, Sarah Biden, Valerie Biden Owens, John T. Owens, and Francis Biden. This comes after he pardoned General Mark Milley, Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Adam Kinzinger, other members of the J6 committee, and let's not forget about Anthony freaking Fauci. We were reporting this was coming for over a month now, and he actually did it. But is Anthony Fauci really out of the woods completely? Not from what I'm hearing. Apparently, he's not completely out of legal jeopardy, especially as public sentiment has flipped considerably around him and his role in the pandemic. The pardon Biden signed for Fauci addresses any COVID-related offenses specifically, and it's backdated to 2014. Coincidentally, the same year the U.S. ban on gain of function took effect. But here's the thing. Now that Fauci's been pardoned, when Congress continues their investigations into the origins and they force him to testify under oath or answer written deposition questions, he no longer has the right to invoke Fifth Amendment protections against self-incrimination, which, according to Jason Foster, former Senate investigator, they can ask him if he lied before, and if he lies about any of those prior lies, he can technically be prosecuted for that new lie. At this point, it really comes down to public appetite, political will. Is there enough of an interest for Congress to spend more time investigating the origins with everything that they need to focus on going forward? Now that Trump's back in office, there's so much to do. Is it worth spending more time on this? Absolutely, 100% in my opinion. This is a question we need to know the whole truth about. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. Do you want to see Congress spend even more time investigating this? So what will day 2 look like? Well, Trump will be meeting with GOP leadership today, laying out his plans, his agenda, what he wants Congress to do immediately. What are the top agenda items he needs Congress to pass, get onto his desk to sign? He has a mandate right now. He's got this small window of time where he can probably get Republicans in Congress to stay united to sign almost anything. This is the moment to get big things done. Also, we're expecting that update later today on what the government really knows about the New Jersey drone mystery. We're going to keep you posted on that. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.